What you're about to listen to is a Bry-Fy production.
Yo, it's Bry-Fy coming live through your Wi-Fi. One-man show, but I'm feeling like a sci-fi. Comic books, video games, catching them all. Pokemon cards stacked, yeah, I'm ready to brawl. From Marvel to DC, I break it all down. Nifty nerd news, got the geeky rundown. Pop culture hits, movies and shows. I stay in the know while the fandom grows. So plug in, tune up, press play, let's ride. This is the Bry-Fy, baby, welcome to the vibe.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Boy I'm Tired, the Bry-Fy podcast. I'm Bry-Fy, your pop culture guy, and we are back with another great episode for y'all. A lot of nifty nerd news to cover and some stuff like, I still find it nifty. I don't know if it's nerdy, but we're going to talk about it, and just some stuff. I don't really have big things to review for you guys this week, but we're going to talk about some stuff and what's going on in my life. But before all that, I am just happy to be here because I could be at work. We had a unit trip yesterday morning. Yeah, I think it was like yesterday morning, and oh god, it was absolutely terrible. So I was on my training week, and so we're ready, gearing up for the last day of our training day. It's supposed to be just hanging out, doing some fire brigade stuff. Should light work, really. Like, just come in, look at some PowerPoints, make a few jokes, leave. That's what we were expecting to do. However, I check my phone when I wake up in the morning, and lo and behold, I see some text messages going around in the head operator groups about a plan, the unit tripping. One of the units, we have two of them, and one of the units tripping. And I already knew we were in for a bad day. Because usually what that means, if a unit trips, they need help. And not that I don't want to provide the help, it's just, when you're expecting a lazy day, and now you're getting the exact opposite of a lazy day, you're not looking forward to that. And so, yeah, Thursday, we busted a lot of ass, man. And basically everything, it felt like just one punch in the gut after the other, and it was so hot. It was miserable. The turbine building was still hot because of all the hot steam and feed water and all that, because the unit had just tripped a couple hours prior, so everything was just stupid hot. And I hated it. I hated every bit of it. But yeah, that was not fun. But you know what? We got through it. Yeah, I told the guys that I work with, I said, this is my favorite group of people to do shitty things with. And it really does help. Like, the work can be really bad, but when you got a group of people that you really enjoy working with, it's not so bad. Like, you find the time to joke, you find the time to not make light of a situation, but have fun during a shitty situation. And we did. We got through it and got at least from point A to point B. And point A and point B was not get it back up and running, but getting it safely further down the line so that other crews could come in and finish the job, because we're supposed to be on our 7 off. And I knew, because we're going to be on our 7 off, we were going to be getting a lot of phone calls about working overtime. So my phone's off. If you try to contact me, you cannot. I got plans, man. I got things to do this weekend. I'm going on vacation next week with the family. Got a hotel and things like that. We gonna be gone. I'm gonna be drinking. I'm going to be unfit to work, and that is on purpose. No. Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of what's been going on with me, and I am just ready to talk about some nerd news, man, because I'm still tired from yesterday. Like, it's crazy to think, but it was just so hot, man. I think the heat index was like 115, 120 in my area. Plus, being inside the turbine building, that's already at 110, 120 degrees because of all the steam and stuff. So it was like, you go outside thinking, oh, thank God I'm getting out of this stupid turbine. And it's still freaking hot. Like it just sucks. You went from like indoor turbine to outdoor turbine, and it just was awful. Everything was awful. And so I'm happy to be home. Anyway, all that being said, let's get into some nifty nerd news. All right, guys, up first in the nifty nerd news, we briefly talked about this a couple weeks ago. Marvel is coming out with a new universe line called the Midnight line. We talked about it's supposed to be like a new take, a new like horror take on some characters, and we talked things like Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, etc., etc. But now it's coming out that Marvel is delaying the Midnight launch by 2 months. Apparently it was supposed to come out in August. I didn't know that, or I don't remember that coming out in August. I thought it was going to come out closer to Halloween, and now it is coming out closer to Halloween. So I guess my assumption prior to my knowledge was the correct knowledge. I don't know. I'm stupid, right? But this is crazy. And what's funny, though, about this, like, Marvel's delaying the Midnight launch because they're like, hey, you know what? Maybe we're on to something here, and maybe we should take a little bit more time to work on this. Which, you should approach everything like that, Marvel. Like, that's how good quality products work. Is like, hey, I'm on to something with everything, and I need to take time and effort into this thing. Like, it's almost like it's blatantly them saying, like, all right, we've just been, like, blasting shit at your face on paper for the last couple of years. Well, I say last couple of years, for the like last decade, and it's been trash. But today we're going to, put some Febreze in this trash can. I don't know. To me, it's silly. Like, it's silly to just admit that, like, oh, we actually want to do better on this, so we're gonna delay it. And, like, just delay it. But like to me, it makes it sound like Marvel knows, like, they're just putting out crap. I don't know, man. But you know what? All that being said, I am happy that they are planning to take time with these series, because I think these are going to be good ideas, not the great ideas that we thought this was going to be, where they took actual horror-based characters, like characters with creepy crap with them, and then expand on those and make cool stories with those characters. And instead, they're just retelling the same number one Marvel character, like their number one characters, right? Hey, these are our best-selling books. Let's flip the script and put that out there. Like, do different, Marvel. Do better, Marvel. But you know what? Like I said, you're trying. You're realizing, hey, we can try here. Like, we can start something new, and we can be something new. We can be something better. And so now, like, stuff, I think, what was it? Midnight X-Men, which was like a vampire thing, was supposed to start, I think, August 5th is from what I'm reading. And now everything is going to launch at the same time on October 7th. And so, and actually, and I'm reading this right now, Marvel Comics is removing any of its other planned comic books from being released that week. So that week and that week only, you are going to get all of the 4 Midnight series comic books, October 7th, which is kind of a cool thing. This is the one good thing about this, right? Like, hey, we're coming out with a new thing. We want people to really be into it. We want people to check it out. Let's make this the only thing that comes out that week. This is my only thing that I really like about this story. I mean, I like that they're taking the time, right? That's a good thing. But I really like that they're saying, hey, it's a new line. This is the only books we're putting out this week. Check these out, right? And then it'll be back to your regularly scheduled Marvel comic books. So, like, it's a lot of bad, but I don't know. Like, with Marvel right now, it always feels like we're taking 5 steps back and 2 to 3 steps forward, and going uphill, and it's muddy. Like, I don't know. It's just weird. Like, I even I have fallen off again from reading Marvel comic books on my Marvel Unlimited app. I'm just giving Marvel free money because I'm not even checking out the app as often as I do. To be fair, though, when I do check it out, I typically binge a lot of stuff. So I make up for that, like, $14 that I'm spending a month on it, because, in a week I can read anywhere from 10 to 20 comic books, just randomly, right? If I'm just feeling it. This last week I was definitely not feeling it. So, Marvel got my money this week. Maybe I'll make them pay next week. But yeah, so the Midnight Universe coming out October 7th. All 4 comic books, only those Midnight comic books are coming out. So that should be pretty interesting. Moving on. Up next in the Nifty Nerd news, Jim Carrey is returning for another How the Grinch Stole Christmas. There's going to be a sequel. Is there even a sequel for the How the Grinch Stole Christmas? Like, you go to Google, like, I've never heard about it. I've never seen Dr. Seuss post about we're not gonna type here. Okay, How the Grinch Stole Christmas sequel? Question mark. Is there a sequel? It says Universal Imagine Entertainment are officially developing a sequel. That's it. That is a sequel. This is not a Dr. Seuss sequel. There was never a Dr. Seuss. Okay, the first one was so good. Jim Carrey was excellent. The film was great. It was an amazing. It is a Christmas classic, a live action Christmas classic. Like, we love watching the cartoon version in this household, but we also really love watching the live action version. And Jim Carrey does a fantastic job of it. And I'm not saying he won't do a fantastic job coming around again for this next iteration of it, but we don't need this, guys. Like, there's already so many movies that I have to watch during Christmas time. All the Harry Potters, no, and like all the claymation movies, Elf, and like there's just not enough days. If I want to watch all the Christmas movies at a relaxing pace, so I'm not like just binge watching movies 24/7 in December, I have to like start in August. You're just adding to my list, Jim Carrey. Well, okay, it's not Jim Carrey's fault, but I mean, like, who's gonna say no to that money, right? But yeah, so I don't know, man. I'm feeling like this. I'm not down with this dude. Like, at least with the Marvel story, there was a little bit of positives. I mean, Jim Carrey, that's the positive, right? But that's the only positive. Moving on. Another thing they just announced, a new, not a new show, but a sequel to a show, is an old cartoon that I used to watch as a kid called Code Lyoko, man. Code Lyoko was this weird sci-fi, it was kind of like Sword Art Online before Sword Art Online, except instead of this not dark character. Well, I mean, he was like the Black Knight character. The kid who's kind of like a loner, but gets a love interest. He's kind of an edgelord and things like that. Instead of something like that with Sword Art Online, Code Lyoko is like 5 teenage 5-heads going into a digital space to take on a digital bad guy. Okay, I really don't remember what the whole point of Code Lyoko was, but I knew, like, whatever in the internet or the cyberspace that they were in, that creature or evil person could reach out into the real world and affect the lives of these kids. And I think that was it. Like, I don't know what the bad villain, I don't even know his name. I just know the theme song, like, okay, I don't really know the theme song. I just know how it goes, and I think it's awesome. Like, that was my favorite part of the show. And they got me really good when I saw the video talking about the sequel, because they put the theme song into it. I was like, hell yeah, I want another sequel. But yeah, so this came out. There was a interview with the creators from Code Lyoko, and, they asked a question about a sequel to the show, because I think it wasn't really finished. Like, it just kind of ended, I think, if I remember correctly, but it's been a while since I watched it. But Sophie and Jerome, who are the creators, talked about, like, hey, we're actually writing the sequel to Code Lyoko now. And Jerome went on to talk about, like, they had to resolve a lot of rights issues, but things are looking pretty good. They're trying to work on funding to get it, but like nothing's concrete yet, but it is starting. Like they're happy, they're working on it, and things are like dominoes are starting to fall, but they need more, right? They can't just like you can have all the good faith and good vibes you want, but you need funding, you need the rights and all those things. And so hopefully they get it, man. But they are working on it and they're trying to get it done. So it could be pretty interesting. I'm curious to see what a Code Lyoko would look like in 2026. Well, it would probably be 2027 or 2028. Just how usually animation and stuff like that goes. Because when I remember it, what was this, like 2000, early 2000s, somewhere between 2003 and 2007, it was fairly good artwork. I think the CGI 3D model stuff was a little weird in my mind, but I think like the actual animation part of it was pretty decent. And I remember there's like a love interest, and she was like in the computer world, and then she came out to the real world. I remember that. This is exactly This is Sword Art Online before Sword Art Online. Maybe they had, you know what? They could sue the makers of Sword Art Online and be like, this was our show first, you bastards. No, I think they changed enough with it. But anyway, Code Lyoko potentially coming back. The creators are working on the sequel, writing, but they got other things to work on. So I'm hopeful, man. I'm really excited for this. Moving on, the next bit of nifty nerd news is kind of like interesting Pokemon drama. So if you're a fan of Pokemon, you grew up with it, you may have heard the name Jason Paige before. Jason Paige is the singer to the classic intro song to Pokemon. Like you hear him, I want to be the very best. Like that's Jason Paige. And one of his big favorite things to do is he works with Collecticon and runs around and sings the theme song. I'm pretty sure he has some other songs that he sings too. Don't really care. But he goes to card shows and like pimps out like, I'm Jason Paige and I'm in a band and I sang the Pokemon theme song, and that's all good and fine and dandy, right? That'd be cool. That's a big point of my childhood. Got an autograph from him. Like, yay, really awesome stuff, right? You're Jason Paige. Don't really know you, but I know your voice. Well, the reason why this is coming up and why there's like scandal and controversy and stuff is a vendor who was at one of these Collecticons or at just a card show. I don't know if it was actually Collecticon, but that's where I always see Jason Paige, so I assumed it was a Collecticon, but it could have been a different card show. A vendor was talking with some kids, and they had a binder. They were looking to trade or buy cards, and they had some cards, and the vendor was like, "Hey, well, I know, like, I have a card that I'm willing to trade with you," and it was an older Gengar. It looked like it's from the Legendary Collection, so a reprint Gengar. That's a reprint of like the base set, or I think it was Fossil. I can't remember. And I have the card. I have the original card. Anyway, this is like a reprint of it from the Legendary Collection. Still is a potentially valuable card. In fact, the vendor says like, "Oh yeah, this is like $150 card," and I'm like, "Holy shit!" Like like trading that for the kids, saying it's like worth twice of what he took from those kids, or I traded with those kids. Sorry, not took, traded with those kids. Like, okay, yeah, cool. Like you did. Good on you, vendor. I've seen vendors all the time willing to like trade down or trade. I don't know how you look at trade up, like trade away something more valuable for something less valuable because like you're promoting the hobby. I do that all the time at my vendor shows. Is I'm willing to make trades and stuff with younger children because I love seeing the light in their eyes. If you're an adult, you're screwed. I'm not doing that for you. You have a job. You're responsible. You're probably just trying to turn around and sell that card anyway. So no, screw you. Kids are lovely and they're innocent. So this vendor, traded with these kids, gave them this cool little Gengar, and that was the end of the story. So we thought. Kids come back saying like, "Hey, I traded away your Gengar." And the guy's like, "What? Really?" And he's like, "Yeah, I gave it to Jason Paige, and he gave me his autograph on this Pokemon card." And the Pokemon card, I don't want to call it a fake because it's technically not a fake because it's not based on anything real, but it's like a grading company's promotional card. So essentially, it's a created card, like a community created card, or like a custom card. There you go, a custom card. That's the perfect word I'm looking for. So the kids traded with Jason Page their Gengar valued per the vendor of $150 to Jason Page for a promo card with his autograph on it, which he was like, yeah, this is like equal value to what you have right here. And so the kids took it for whatever reason, like, not saying like, hey, they're not big fans of Jason Page, because they could be big fans of Jason Page. I'm just saying they did not grow up with that cartoon like I did. I mean, well, I don't know, because I say that, but then like my son, his first Pokemon was the original Pokemon, because that's what I showed him. So maybe their parents showed them. So maybe they knew Jason Page. Like, I'm trying to look at the positives. I'm trying to look for uplifting parts of all of this. And there's not many. So when that happened, the vendor obviously upset because like, hey man, I traded this to these kids, trying, cut them a deal or whatever, and then they just went and traded it away for some bullshit, basically. Which in some ways kind of is, because no shade, not too much shade on Jason Page, but like, are you really that famous? I don't want to discredit what that intro means to me, and every time I hear it, how happy it makes me. But I will say, that's all I know you for. Like, I know you for one thing. I don't see you in movies. I don't see you doing any voice acting, and you might. I don't know, but I don't hear Jason Page's name come up for anything else other than the Pokemon intro and singing the Pokemon intro at card events. That's it. So I don't know if I would really value his autograph price-wise that much. And I'm definitely not going to trade him a card that I value for something of his signature like that. I would rather just pay cash if I could versus trading away something. So I see where the vendor's coming from. But that's not all, people, because it gets much worse. Because Jason Page takes to the internet to respond to the vendor's allocations and criticisms. And as it turns out, because Jason Page shows the card that he got from these kids, there's damage. Like, this card is a damaged card. Like, he's like, there's no way this card is worth $150. It's not a graded card. It's an ungraded Japanese Gengar from like their Legends reprint collection or whatever, and it's damaged. It's got major scratches on it, probably some other stuff with it, and he's like, you scammed these kids out of their cards. I gave them something worth something. Like, I gave them my signature, which is clearly worth more than this Gengar is. And I was like, okay, like, obviously he's like, I don't know, like, I'm thinking this is getting some weird pissing match where like it's kind of like he said type thing. Like, who are we gonna believe over? Are we gonna believe the voice of a generation, Jason Page, or are we gonna believe this random vendor from B&B Collectibles? Yeah, I said their names. I'm not scared. It's on the internet. You can read it anywhere. And then the vendor from B&B says, like, yeah, that is a damaged card, which could be worth $150 if it gets graded, because PSA ones are sought after, because like, it's like a 10 is really great and a 1 is really great because they're really hard to find. And now the vendor looks like a piece of shit because you're selling an ungraded card at graded card prices. And I'm not 100% sure, but I'm almost certain that a damaged ungraded card is worth a lot less than a damaged graded card. And so the vendor is pulling one over on it. So like, now the story is this vendor is a piece of shit, trading these cards for, like, getting these kids cards for a card that he, quote unquote, values much higher than its actual value. In fact, you know what? We can probably just, I could we're going to go to TCG Player right now, and we're going to get to the bottom of this. Hold. All right, guys, I'm back now. This is crazy. All right, so I looked up on eBay because I couldn't find... price charting is usually where I check grades, like graded card sales. But they don't show... or I can't see any PSA 1 sales on price charting. I can see the lowest is PSA 7, and it's selling about $215 at that price. At PSA 10, meaning perfect condition, is over $8,000, which is freaking insane. However, I went to eBay to look up PSA 1s, and they're actually selling for a crazy amount. The one that I see of the card was selling for $350. There's another one selling for $250. One for $300. So, like, at first I'm like, oh crap, maybe he did cut him a deal, only selling for $150. And then I went to TCG Player, which is, they'll sell ungraded card theirs. And even a heavily played version of the card is selling for only $80, which means the damaged card's probably going to sell for even less. So I faith in humanity was restored. Also, I found out that the card that was I kept saying it was like the Japanese version of the legendary collection that America did. It's not. This is the actual original Japanese Gengar from their fossil set, or the mystery of the fossil set. So correction on that. Sorry about that. But this is what research is all about. It's finding where you're wrong and changing the answers. So it was a legit OG Gengar, Japanese Gengar, which is really awesome, by the way. But heavily played, which is based on what the story we're talking about, is a better condition than what the actual card we're talking about. So heavy played is only $80, which means this damaged Gengar should be less, is all I'm getting at. So yeah, the vendor still looks like crap because he's selling a card for twice as much. And so now I want nothing to do with these. Like, I don't want anything to do with any of these vendors, dude. Like, you find good vendors every now and then. I can't remember the vendor that I found at Comic Palooza, but they were super legit, man. We did a trade 1-for-1 for some Charizards. I got a Charizard I really wanted, and they got a Charizard they really wanted. And looking at TCG Player, prices were pretty similar between it, and that's what we based it off of. And when I bought other cards from them, they were basing it off of TCG Player, and we looked at it together. So I know they weren't overcharging me for anything, and they weren't undercharging. Like, they were at market price, and they were willing to trade and all those things. So, like, there are good vendors out there, but you gotta do the research, people, which sucks because I get it, man. It sucks because you go to booths and now you're pulling out your phone because you're trying to check prices and things like that. It's a pain in the ass, dude. It sucks. And I've been on both sides of it now, and it's not fun for anybody because, like, I want to sit there, I want to talk and have a good time and, like, connect and things like that. I don't want to sit there on my phone the whole time trying to look up stuff. Like, it's silly, man. But yeah, so it's crazy, dude. This whole story, this whole Pokemon drama between the two is just, it's insane, man. Like, everybody's scamming everybody, and kids are the victims in all of this. Like, that's the thing that sucks to me, is like the kids are the victims in all this because they just want to have fun and get Pokemon cards and get cool cards, and adults are taking advantage of that, and it's just awful. So hopefully, when I vend, I try to be really fair. I don't try to, I never overcharge for any of the cards. I don't go above market based on, like, oh, this card's gonna go up and up and up. Like, I look right at TCG Player, whatever it's selling for, and if I think it's super inflated for a stupid reason, I won't even sell it for the inflated price. I'm going to sell it less than what TCG Player says. So I'll sell for less at market if I feel like it's improperly being inflated or something like fishy is going on. And it sucks trying to price my cards before shows, because I'm doing tons of research on, like, why is this card going expensive? Like, why is this? And then, like, if it's not because, like, the set's discontinued or something like that, it's like, oh, well, it's just trading uncharacteristically high. No, 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 no. There has to be a better reason than that. Anyway, let's move on. You know what? Let's get to some uplifting, nifty nerd news. Xbox, well, I guess, I don't know. We'll see. Xbox is releasing something really cool this year in November. It is the limited edition 25-year anniversary Xbox Series X25. And it looks amazing. I don't know if you guys remember the old school limited edition, like original Xboxes. They had like the clear green plastic covers and stuff so you could see the innards of it all. They're bringing it back, guys. So you're going to get this badass clear green Xbox Series X case. I don't want to say I want to buy it, but I really want to buy it. It's because it looks so awesome. If I can just purchase the case itself and put my Series X inside of it, that would be amazing. Like if they gotta because it's just a plastic case, right? Like you gotta sell these things. I don't know, man, but I want it so bad. It looks great. Everyone's talking about them. Everyone's in love with them, which leads me to believe it's going to be just like Pokemon cards. I'm not even going to be able to sniff this thing. Like, I'm never going to get a whiff of this thing out in the wild. It's going to be gone, long gone, before I get a chance at it. But maybe not, man, because unlike Pokemon cards, these things are, well, I mean, some Pokemon cards are $600 to $800, but, you know, not too many people are going to be going after it, I hope, but we'll see. And the last bit of nifty nerd news that I have for you guys is less nerdy, more sports, but I found it kind of interesting. So the biggest soccer tournament in the world, the World Cup, is happening right now, and it has been a blast. It's here in the United States, Mexico, and Canada, and it's been fun. I've really been living through TikTok for the World Cup. People have been posting on there. It's been great getting to see all the videos and stuff. And then I've been watching the games on YouTube, like replays of the games on YouTube. They're streaming on Fox Sports 1, I believe. So it's been great. But one of the things that I have noticed, and so have other people, and we've all thought, it's a little weird. It seems like every single player is wearing pink cleats. And I was like, oh, they must all have like the same, like Nike is sponsoring all the teams and gave them all these pink cleats. No, they have Adidas on. They have like other companies' shoes. Like it's not all just one cleat company. There's all different kinds of, I say cleat companies, shoe companies, but it's all different brands. Nike, Adidas, Puma, New Balance. And they all came out with this like bright electric pink or fuchsia cleat. It's insane. Like, Like they all just had the same idea. Like it's really weird. And people have been noticing it. Like people have been really talking about it. But here's the thing. Because everyone's wearing the same pink cleat, we don't know whose company's boot they're wearing, right? Like, oh, it's just a pink shoe. But it's just weird. And, like, you know, people have reached out to these companies asking, like, hey, what's going on? And, like, I don't know. You know, it just seems like a really weird coincidence. You know, we're using our marketing strategies and things like that. And then I'm starting to believe you guys just AI'd it, right? Like, you sit there, you ask AI, like, hey, what's a cool cleat we could do? And you all asked AI the same thing, and AI gave you all the same stupid answer. Well, I don't want to say stupid because I really love the color pink. Like, I would love a pair of these pink cleats if I played soccer. I loved wearing bright colored cleats when I played as a child. Like, I had like these neon yellow and like baby blue ones. Like, I just loved having a colorful cleat. It was fun. It stood out. It was really cool, you know, while everyone, you know, like you all wear the same jerseys and stuff. And so you look for your own personal flair to add. The flashy cleat was the way to do it. And so I loved wearing bright colored cleats. So I get it. Bright colored cleats are cool. It's just really odd and really weird that everyone's bright colored cleats are all pink. And I'm honestly believing AI had something to do with it. Like companies used AI to come up with marketing strategy, and it all told them use a pink cleat. And so it's kind of funny. It's funny that this all happened that way. But that is it for the Nifty Nerd News. That's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for sticking around and listening to me rant and just yap about all kinds of stuff. Up next, though, let's talk a little bit about what we have going on for the upcoming week.
Bry-Fy podcast, where the nerd never sleeps.
All right, you dweebs, thanks for sticking around for the last part of the Bry-Fy podcast. So big thanks for me this weekend. Actually, tomorrow, I'm going to try to put this out. It's going to be late tonight when this comes out, but tomorrow, Saturday, June 20th, at the Bay City Civic Center in Bay City, Texas, I will be vending at the Market Days event. It's like Christmas in June that they do, and it's great because it's indoors because it's hot as hell outside. So it's indoors. It should be a lot of fun. They should have food there. I think they've had food trucks there the last 2 times that I've done it. And it's always just a good time, man. I love it because it's indoors. It's not bad for my product, cards, right? Cards aren't out in the heat, potentially the humidity, because Bay City is on the coast. So humidity and heat, probably a bad thing for cards, right? And I try not to do it. Plus, if it rains for any reason, which the weather has been pretty shitty and rainy the last week. So being indoors, safe. Love it. It's a great time, man. It's from 9 in the morning till 4 in the afternoon. So, hey, if you're close and, willing to make a little day trip down to shitty little Bay City, you can check it out. It should be a lot of fun. I would love to hang out, talk with you. I love doing card shows, it's not even card show. It's a market days. But I love vending at these events because, one, people are always shocked for whatever reason, because I guess they don't think, we don't have vendors like that here in Bay City. So people are always shocked when they see me out there with cards and stuff. And it's fun, man. And we get to talk. People will talk about cards they used to love or used to have. And then, always, because I have a pretty decent variety of cards, they always find something like, oh, I want that card. Or, man, what I would give to have that card. I'm like, well, I accept money. So, it's always a lot of fun, though. And I've been trying to add other things other than just Pokemon cards. So we started doing sports cards because I collect sport. These are the things that I collect and the things I find interesting. And so Pokemon and baseball cards are what I like and what I share. And so those are what's going to be at the table this year. I got some bulk boxes that people can rifle through and look and maybe find some cool cards that they might like. It should be a lot of fun. I'm doing Pokemon card magnets this year, so I took some bulk and other cool cards, cut them onto acrylic or glass. I think some of them are glass, some of them are acrylic, but magnets on them. And so I'm going to be selling that at the card event. Or it's not card event, it's a market days. I keep saying event. And it's just a lot of fun, guys. And there's also another guy there who sells baseball cards in our area. His name, I think, is Mark. He's a really cool guy. All right, it's Mark or Mike Thornton. I can't remember. He sells baseball cards, and he does vintage baseball cards, which is really cool. So it's I do the vintage Pokemon. He does the vintage baseball. We kind of stay in our lanes, and it's a lot of fun. But I don't know. It's a blast. So I will be doing that this weekend and having fun with that. And then next week, I plan on going on vacation with the family because it's summer, RJ's home from school. This is the 1 week where I don't have anything going on, even though the work is trying to give me work overtime, but I'm just, like I said, phone's off. So next week we'll be on vacation. So I don't know if I'll be bringing a episode for you guys, but we will see. Maybe I'll find the time. Who knows? Anyway, that's all that I got for you this week. Thank you so much for listening to the Bry-Fy podcast. We will see you guys sometime either next week or the week after. Bry-Fy out.